Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. Oh, and I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new
At 18,000 revolutions per minute, this isn't music. This is the scream of science. This is the inner world of pneumatic valve springs, of mean effective pressure, 300 brake horsepower per liter of displacement. The quest for the perfect four-stroke V8 naturally aspirated reciprocating engine. And in the middle of the hot metal, the carbon, the alloy technology, sits flesh and blood. Rising out of its carbon fiber monocoque, the coolest head. These are the eyes that can pick out a face in the crowd, as if motion were being slowed down. Not passing in a blur at 200 miles per hour. This is the pure mathematics of angles and aerodynamics, the physics of G-forces and friction, and the raw instinct to race. These are the masters of speed.
Gentlemen, start your engines! Welcome everyone to Pocono tonight with Great Locker Racing, 2.5 mile tricky triangle. We have 40 laps for you tonight, no stages. We have 4 sets of tires, including the ones that they start with, 60% fuel, 2 green-white checkers if needed, and 1 fast repair. And we will have a fuel window of 20 to 23 laps. And we'll start off with the grid. They're starting to grid up now. We'll have in row 1, Patrick Drobeck in the 07, Mike George in the 29. Row 2, George Jewell in the 36 on the inside, and Jeremy Gardner in the 42 on the outside. In row 3, we have Scott Formosa and Travis Bieber. And then row 4, James Kaufman, Timothy Jones. Row 5, Brandon Wallace, Andy Kurtz. Row 6, Timothy Wilms and Matt Knights. And then we have Chris Smith inside, Jacob Lincoln outside. Then in row 8, we have Mike Hollifield, Alan Marshall. Row 9, Dustin Hardy and Johnny Cofield. Row 10, Jake Ellickson and Mark McCrary. And row 11, we'll finish it off with James Perkins and Keith Haney. It's a hot track tonight. 115 degrees. It's going to be a slick one, Dean.
Yes, it will. We have a lot of hot weather at the moment. Went 100 and what was it? Last night, actually, you went around for that one. That was a very, very hot track. Look at the Tricky Triangle. Welcome, everybody in the chat, all the usual suspects. I'd love to see you all coming along to support your drivers and friends and family. 22 drivers. Didn't look like Keith Hanley got a starter on this one as well, too. Jeremy Gardner will be starting in pit road. And Patrick Trebek, of course, on the pole position with Mike George alongside with him, George Jewell, Travis Bieber and Timothy Jones. So we'll see how they're going to pan out. The pace car lights are off, so we should get ready to rumble in the Triangle Jungle.
Oh, just as a reminder, in the 07, we've got Drobeck. Should be on the inside, and George is on the outside in the 29. Pace car is off. We're waiting on
Green.
Benny to throw the green flag. And here we go. We're off. Drobeck maintains his place in the first position on the inside. Everybody's double file. Followed by George on the end. George, and then we have Jewell.
Good run at the moment. Now, the triangle really comes out and bites you, actually. What do you think is success of driving around Pocono?
It's the tricky one, as they call it, the tricky triangle. That first turn is okay. It's got a little bit of banking. The tunnel turn, sometimes you have a hard time slowing down, and you'll end up against the wall a little bit there. And the number turn 3, which you're getting ready to come into now, is you really got to slow down for that one. It can be slick coming off of that and going to the straightaway front stretch there. Everybody's back in single file with Drobeck, George, Jewell, Bieber, Formosa in your top 5. Doesn't look like anyone right now is going to be pushing very hard.
I maybe spoke too quickly. Andy Kurtz may be taking the inside apron there on James Kaufman on the outside. That's the 25 versus the 20. 24 and 25, actually, lined up side by side in the P6 and P7 positions. Big gainers as well, too, is Jake Ellickson out there, who's just in P10, gained himself another up to P9. 9 positions gained, sorry, currently sitting in P10. So definitely. I don't think Jeremy's got off at the moment. I think he's sitting in pit road. He's definitely a couple laps down. So some of the big names not putting in any of the racing so far here tonight, but Patrick Trebek has got building up a little bit of a commanding lead. As you can see, the rear starts sliding a little bit around here at the moment. Taking care of those tyres will be a key one. Have to start another lap, my friend.
And we're on the next lap coming out of lap 3. Same leader, Drobeck, George, Jewell, Bieber, followed by Formosa, Kaufman, Kurtz. We still got a little bit of a battle back there with Kurtz and Kaufman, and Kurtz is taking that 6th spot back. And then we got Kaufman again looking on his inside there, trying to get a little peek.
Scott Formosa and Travis Bieber. They're going to be exchanging Christmas cards early between the two drivers. Now, inside apron, going up against the fence, take care of those tires, your fuel strategy and all that. That's going to be key, isn't it? Because sometimes you see drivers that just rush out there, they chew through everything, and then come a little bit later on in the race. Of course, those tires start falling off the cliff and they start falling down the order.
Right, and everybody seems to be saving on their tires. Oh, we had a car in the back hit the fence there. Another one.
So
But
already,
yeah, the saving the tires is a big thing here too. It can chew them up a little bit, especially with this hotter track. We got Drawback extending his lead out by half a second now, followed by George and Jewel. Jewel's almost 4/10 back from Drawback.
looks like Mark Holifield's gone into said he entered the pit road now, unless it's at a drive-through. It's only 2 seconds in and out of the pit road. So keep an eye on that one, but he is back out. Doesn't show anything actually for him going into pits, although the telemetry is telling me he went into pit road. Anyway, we'll have a look at that real quick there. He might have just had a moment going into the pit road. I think this could be a slide, isn't it? Yes, it is. And that'll count. That's counting in our telemetry as he's entered the pit road, but he hasn't actually at this point. But it's a solo incident. He's all the way at the back of the field.
Yeah, Hollifield was able to save that one and get it back on the track. No caution flag there. Drawback is still in the lead. He is now still half a second ahead of Jewel. And then we got a very close one here between Jones and is that Hardy?
Absolutely, Dustin Hardy. Exactly. They're getting a little too close for comfort, but hey, it's still banging. It's racing.
They're fighting for that 13th and 14th position there. And then we have a three-way battle for the last place cars, it looks like. I don't see anybody else behind them besides Hollifield. Drawback still got the lead. George is now 7/10 behind him, so Drawback is actually putting a bit of a lead on these other guys, actually.
Here comes Jake at the moment, the man from Milwaukee, number 27 machine, up 10 positions here, looking to see if he can get himself another one. He's got Brandon Wallace, less than 99 in the outside apron. You can see Jake going to commit to that inside apron. Of course, the speed will go a little bit to Brandon Wallace on the exit. And we have caution on the speedway. I think it's Chris Smith. That may have gone around. Yes, I think it is. Let's have a look, see if we can find what happened to Mr. Chris Smith. There it is. Ooh,
You got spun.
he got tagged by the 97 of Johnny Caulfield, wasn't it?
Yes, he did. Looks like Caulfield tried to get him on the inside, and Smith didn't see him coming down.
Yeah, let's have a look. Oh, yeah, Caulfield had some really good inside run there, isn't it? I think he caught completely off guard. So now
Yeah, it looks
it's got to
like,
be too early to go on pit road, isn't it? We've only got 7 laps under our belt.
Well, but remember, we've only have 40 laps, and we got 3 more sets of tires. So that's about 10, 11 laps or so that they would have to pit. Or they can pit, I should say, to get tires.
Maybe a good strategy call. We'll go through some of those messages, of course, out there in the chat. Say hello, welcome everybody. We're talking about a dog, some of his dogs, a pet, and that's going back up to everybody, of course. As Rusty Rafferty said, sadly can't be racing tonight. We'll enjoy the broadcast. Thank you. The Magic Whisper is back. Hello, good luck, especially 29 Mike George get that win. Who's currently in P2, very much could get that one. Ray, of course, always good to see you out here. Evening fans there from Craig, who races as well on the Nazarene Network. Shasta, your man's doing, where is he get? George Jewell's doing okay in P3 currently at the moment, so. Let's see if we can get a win there. Had a teacher named George Jewell. Wow. They're going
just
in.
as a reminder, yep, everybody's going in, it looks like. And just as a reminder, the Race tonight is brought to you by INvets. Goat Locker Racing has partnered with INvets to provide more resources and assistance to our nation's warriors. INvets is committed to helping our military transition out of service. They are connected to a lot of employers and offer employment services and so much more to all our military members, spouses, and veterans. Go check them out and find out why you should come and live and work in Indiana.
Yeah, thank you very much. Of course, without them, we would be doing. Patrick's one of the first ones in at the moment. 3 drivers still decide to stay out. Of course, we forgot that Patrick gives himself that lovely Big Fish Barbecue Pole Award.
Yeah, you even reminded me about that, and we still forgot, didn't we?
And I've actually forgot to start the Facebook stream as well. So if it does, it's not set up at the moment, so I do apologize. We're only streaming just completely on the YouTube. Usually I get a reminder sometimes about that, but it's still being broadcasted. That's the main thing. And now it's interesting. So those 3 drivers that have elected to stay out: Timothy Wilms, Dustin Hardy, and Jeremy Gardner. We knew Jeremy had started in pit road. He was a lap or so down, and now he's elected to stay out. So keep an eye on that number 42 machine.
And this will be interesting because everybody behind them has new tires, and these guys' tires are a little bit older, and even that 8 laps, that make quite a bit of difference between new tires and the ones that they're currently running on. All right,
Jeremy's tires are as old as everybody else, I think. What's it showing that differently? Because Jeremy, sorry, this is the pit stop lap or something, stint length. Well, I'll try to get that showing. Yeah, see, Jeremy has done 7 laps on those tires too. I don't think that graphic's really showing anything too accurately at this point. There it is at the moment. 2 drivers that are up top there haven't boxed. Jeremy, it's saying that Jeremy he pitted at lap 0, but that's because he started from pit road. So he's still on the same tyres as the rest of the 2 drivers up the road. It's when you go to Patrick and Mike George, that's when the other drivers have come out in that fresh tyre.
And that race off of pit road pretty much kept them in the same order after Gardner there, with Drawbeck, George, Formosa, and Jewel, and Bieber for your top 5. Behind these 3 other cars there, of Williams, Hardy, and Gardner.
Excellent.
Looks like they're forming up.
Yeah. So it's a service dog that was naughty today out there from Bray. Thank you. And a Mystic Whisperer is Michelle, Mike George's mum. All right. Thank you very much. I was speaking to you in the green room about this, wasn't I, Steve? I said, the good thing about Goat Locker Racing here on Wednesdays and Thursday nights is that the family really get involved. Everybody gets behind their drivers, and it's fun, engaging chat. I have just as much fun reading out the chat and engaging with the chat than I do broadcasting and commentating.
Yeah, when I was racing with them, my wife has always watched the races, but we don't have another computer right now to get her on the chat box. But hopefully here pretty soon we'll still have one, and she can join him in the chat also.
I bet she would get on the phone. If you can, if you would look at it, watch it on the phone. Some people are watching on their phone. But yeah, no, it's fun. We're trying to update the graphics. I hope you are enjoying the graphics that I have at the moment. I'm trying to work more and more, improving it week by week. It's a little adjustments. There's a lot to do, but now we have the drivers' kind of colours and numbers and things like that in there. Didn't have that last week, so we're working on it. But what we will have is that pace car peeling in, my friend, to get some more green flag racing going.
Yep, they're coming out of turn 3. Pace car should be peeling off here any second now. As a reminder, we got Wilms, Hardy, Gardner, Grabick, and George in your top 5, but I'm expecting these first 3 drivers to get ran over. I think they'll get past pretty quick. Williams jumps out to the lead, followed by Hardy and Gardner. Excuse me, that's Gardner on the inside. Coming into turn 1. And it looks like, can't see their numbers right now, but it looks like Grabick is trying to get around that 07 car. That is Grabick, I'm sorry. That is Grabick. He's trying to get around Gardner there in 3rd.
Yeah, a bit of a challenge at the front there. Looks like Dustin's going to go up at the inside there. Jeremy going to start tucked up behind. So now you can see during the corners is when they start to get a little bit of the pressure down the straights. It should not be as bad, but you can see the cars behind are really catching. We're going 3 abreast even now, and that's because of the 7-lap tire difference as there's a little bit of a tango there in the outside. I'm not quite sure who it was, that a little bit of a bump there, but that was a 07 of Patrick. Oh, 4 abreast. Hold on tight. Do not close your eyes. Do not put your seats in the upright position and your tray tables stowed away, because this is getting, there it is, my friend.
Oh, here we go. Oh, nice save. Nice save by the 29 George there.
Mike George, yeah, exactly.
We got a big battle going on up here for the top 5.
Yeah, this is what happens when you throw 2 different tire strategies, isn't it? In a whole bunch of cars, and everybody's got a little bit more pace, a little bit more grip. Some drivers don't, and then they start to do some door banger. But wow, 3 fantastic saves that we've seen so far, haven't we? Between these gladiators in the arena of Pocono. I think Mark Holyfield's gone around at the back, hasn't caused a caution, thankfully, just yet, as he's essentially almost plump last. I have to get those cameras fixed at the moment. It's either that or my eyes are blurry.
Yeah, they're still battling back there for the for 2, 3, 4, and 5, and maybe even 6. It looks like.
Oh,
here we go. We got some more door banging.
Oh, somebody's around. Oh, I did it.
Whoa, there we go. Somebody's in the wall. It's at the 82. 114 involved in that. The 11.
Yeah, Travis Bieber, I think Johnny Caulfield's in that one, Jamie Perkins. There's a few drivers, but that was building up. That was brewing up, wasn't it, to happen? I mean, there was cars 4 abreast. At some point, you realized that was definitely going to turn out that way.
Yeah, they're racing hard. This is a fairly short race, so yeah, they're gonna be fighting all night long. I think it's getting pretty ruckus out there now.
I think this is what we saw just on that pictures exactly. So. Yeah, I mean, look at the cars here at the moment. This is Travis Bieber we're going to have a look at, and you can see this is also, it's a difference with the tyre strategies as well. He's electing if gap car, why not? And unfortunately, that's the 25 you're seeing just up the road there, because we're looking at Justin Bieber in 114, and then bang, they're turning into each other. It's causing a little bit of domino effect, isn't it? And then bang, drivers start going around, and then there's collisions practically with a few of the guys. Alan Marshall, the 82, gets involved as well. Holyfield.
Yeah, it looked like Andy Kurtz tried to do some blocking there, and everybody else checked up and got into each other.
That's broken, my friend. Big time there. I think he had a hard impact into the wall from Alan Marshall. I think he gets hit from behind and then bang, hard impact into the fence. Now, you did say that they have 1 fast repair.
Correct. Yes, they have 1 fast repair, so he'll be using that one if he can get his car around. Hopefully he doesn't have to tow it, because if not, it'll be in there for quite a while.
Brings Patrick back into the lead of this race. Please don't go anywhere yet. Like and subscribe as well too. We'll be back after some commercial breaks.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Hey, welcome back to Pocono. It's been a fairly clean race now. This is our second caution. Everybody's going in for, or not everybody, but there's some going in for fuel and tires. I'd imagine it was those first 3 guys that stayed out that last caution.
Now, I'm wanting to ask you at the moment, some drivers elect to stay down the pit road and take those repairs as much as they can, or do enough repairs perhaps just to get the car drivable, but not completely fix it, and not use your fast repair because, you know, it's still early days with 27 and plus laps to go. If you get a couple more cautions and, you know, other cars and stuff like that are involved in wrecks, then you still have one of those get out of jail free cards up your sleeve, isn't it? Which is AKA the fast repair. So might come in handy later on if there's a big wreck, and then you can, your cars, if your car's all fixed up or whatever like that, you can zoom on by and bingo, collect a good hell of points.
Yeah, if they've got minor damage, yeah, they're just going to sit there. I would say during the pace laps, if it's less than a minute and a half, they'll just sit there and take the normal repair. But if it's completely destroyed the car, like that one we saw earlier, then yeah, he's going to take his fast repair and get back out there.
Yeah, if it's a lot. Brandon Wallace has gone back in. Chris Smith has gone in. Timothy Williams has gone in. I see somebody in the chat asking who was 98. That's a very good question. I don't see 98 on the timing tower at all, unless somebody has 98 listed on the truck. Can you see anything over there about a 98 on the truck? I can't.
No, I don't. I see a 97.
There's a 97 and a 99. Brandon Wells is a 99. And the 97. Where is the 97? Somewhere.
I think somebody's got the wrong number.
Yeah. That does happen sometimes. To the car livery as to the iRacing telemetry.
Craig Bontrager says he believes it's Johnny Cofield in the 98.
Johnny Cofield. Quickly look at him. It's 97 on our race control message. No, he's got 97 on the machine. Yes. You ask, we'll try to get to it. We'll try to resolve the mystery as much as we possibly can. But hey, if you don't ask, you don't know. So I appreciate that. Pace car lights are off, so only got one more corner to go out of the triangle corner, so there's 3 of those. Then hopefully we'll get back to some green flag racing. As for those strategies as well too, Dustin Hardy is the only one that has not gone to the pit road, so I think he's going to be really struggling right now on those tires.
Yeah, I believe he would. All right, they're coming back out of turn 3, and they'll be taking the pace car back into the pits. We got Dravik in the lead. Gardner, Formosa, Jewel, and Andy Kurtz are your leaders as they approach the Geico restart zone.
Green, green, green.
And there they go. They're off. Got Scott Formosa's taking the lead over George Jewell. Oh, sorry. Got the wrong page there. Patrick Drawback is in the lead up there by himself, followed closely by Jeremy Gardner and Scott Formosa and George Jewell, your top 4.
Yeah, Jeremy
Still got a good battle
from essentially from the back, isn't it? At this point, at least it was showing us. He started in pit road, but at the moment, telemetry is telling us he's gained 2 positions. Pretty sure he's getting a lot more than that if he started from the back of the field. Scott Formosa, George Jewell, Andy Kurtz, and Dustin going to be holding in those tires as much as he possibly can. As you can see in the battle for 4th graphic at the moment, he's got no L number next to his name, which is not the last lap he's gone in on, because he hasn't got in on a lap yet. Jake still climbing his way back up to the field there in P9, holding up around there with James Kaufman and Mark. Oh, and we have a caution, and that's Dustin into, oh, I think he's either spun going into the pit road or not, or he was tagged. Or maybe he just wanted to go on the pit road, but he couldn't go. That pit road might have been closed at that point anyway. Let's have a look what's happened here. Is this another incident, unfortunately, from Mark Hollifield? 76 machine. Oh, no, there's already a spin before that. That was the 99 of Brandon Wallace.
Wow, I want to see what happened to him. He came down pretty hard on that inside from the top.
Yep. I think he's overspeeded it. Oversped through that corner, isn't it, Ian? He's just avoided, unless there was contact of the other machine, or they just caught completely off on speed there. And then the rest is history, my friend. Just go on board and have a look, but it's hard to tell, isn't it? Do you think the 88's just too slow? And he's had to take avoiding.
Yeah, he got spun around there, and then Hollifield and Coalfield had no choice. They They were running too close behind him and got caught up in him. Just couldn't get around him or slow down fast enough.
This is the one situation, of course, with your one fast repair, as Brandon Wallace has to back up. The car's looking pretty dinged up. Once you use that one fast repair, of course, after that, any accidents, then just used it right there because the team magically just slap a new duct tape on there and brings the car back out. But after that now, he has no get out of jail free card, remember. So he literally, if he dings the car now, that's maybe park it. Or if it's drivable, just see how many laps you could possibly do. A few other drivers come in. We know Dustin should come in for sure because he was the one that hasn't pitted at all in this race until right now. Get some fresh boots on. Maybe have an advantage later on as well too. There, Steve, if you got an extra set of tyres later on that the rest of the drivers don't have, would be a good play.
Yes, it could. Yeah, it looks like Travis Bieber, Timothy Williams, Matt Knight, Dustin Hardy, Chris Smith, and Johnny Cofield are all in the pits right now. And it looks like some of them are taking the slow repair, I guess you could call it. They're not using the fast repair. They're waiting for that time to come down.
Yeah, and if you and including myself, not as a racing driver, I don't know what goes on inside the cockpit of the car when you're going down into the pit road. But the drivers will have these options before they get in the pit road there to, or even when they're in the pit box to elect to what sort of repairs you can do. You can do basic little minimal repairs or larger repairs, all that sort of stuff. It'll give you an estimated time, and then you basically tell your pit crew whether or not you wanted to go ahead with that or not, and make your decision from there. And then you still don't know if you do those minimal repairs, do you, there, Steve, until you get out of your pit box and you start driving and you're like, the steering is still kind of bent and the car's still feel a little rough. That's why sometimes you'll see those drivers come back out and then come straight back in the pits again because the car's not drivable.
Right. Yeah. That's usually it's because the leaders are coming up on them in the caution lap, and they don't want to get a lap down, so they come back around again and try to get it the rest of that time taken off. And they're in the Geico restart zone, and Bernie's waving the green flag, and they're off again. We got Patrick Dravick still in the lead, followed closely by Gardner and Jewell and Andy Kurtz.
I'm surprising how well Jeremy's doing at this situation because he's also the other one, sorry, there was two drivers, who hasn't got on pit road. He started from the pit box. So he's been out here the whole time. He's done all these laps, 22 to go laps, and he's done every single lap in this race so far on those tires, and it's still very quick for some reason.
Yeah, he's got to be doing some really good tire saving there. And they're coming around turn 3 back to the front straightaway. Again, Gardner, Formosa, Jewell, Kurtz, still you're in your top 5, followed by George, Kaufman, Ellickson, Linky, and Marshall. And it's a big pack back there in the back, kind of spread out back there.
I think they got to look
That's
at
a good accident waiting to happen.
Oh, there it is. Oh.
Yep, there we go. I told it.
You called it, exactly. They're getting you a bit antsy out there so far, aren't they? Like, I think a couple of laps under your belt, you get the tire temperatures and stuff like that in there. But this is going to be unfortunate for some of these drivers, isn't it? They've got some of these fast repairs done, like AKA Brandon Wallace and stuff like that. And now they got some damage. Timothy Williams as well too, I think. Did he have a fast repair used before that? That car's sounding a little crook.
That was Timothy Jones and Brandon Wallace in the 99 involved in that one. And he's going to have to go in and take some repairs.
Now, what does this look like? Just, oof. Now, you're not even at, this is the thing, you're not at the corner yet. Look at that. They're still straight. I'm just curious. Try to have a look at that one from a helicopter camera. Or sorry,
yeah, I can't see the number on that red and white car.
Yeah. See, that's the start-finish line. You're not turning yet. You're not turning. So I'm just wondering why they had contact on straightaway. That was interesting. Brandon Wallace was a secondary to that party.
Yeah, the red and white car can't quite make the number out. Um,
Johnny,
the white
was
car
it?
he was holding his lane, and that red and white car came down into him for some reason. There was no reason for him to do that. He was fine where he was. The 86, Timothy Wilms.
Yeah, let's have a look at Timothy. I have to back it up a little bit.
Yeah, Timothy Jones, he was holding his line in that second lane there, and Wilms decided he wanted that lane. Didn't realize that Wilms was still there. Apparently.
Oh, she wrote, and that's the thing. Like, there's Timothy Jones in the pit road. There's Jamie. Jamie's been in for 7 minutes and change, so I think he's just trying to get all those repairs done. See how it pans out. Looks like Brandon Wallace continuing on, so maybe not too much damage to himself. Johnny Caulfield. Oh, Scott Formosa's in. We have drivers coming in pit road.
Scott Formosa, looks like Mark McCrary, Alan Marshall, Dustin Hardy should already be in there, along with Brandon Wallace and Matt Knights, all in the pits. And yep, there's Matt Knights.
Scott Formosa is probably one of the bigger names here at the moment that was running up at the top. So they're all gladiators and big names of the series, but the ones that were running up the top of the timesheets will be the key how that's going to pan out for their strategy this evening. Mark McCurry there as well at night. So that will lead Patrick back out. This is what's interesting about Jeremy Gardner still as just not going into pit road. I think he's comfortable with those tires. He's been okay with those tires, hasn't he? So don't think he really needs to.
He's been good with them. He's got some secret tire management apparently, because he's not getting ran over. He's staying up there in the second place for quite a while now. It just kind of amazes me that he hasn't dropped back because everybody else having newer tires.
And you'll see those drivers in the top 8. They are all on 7. Well, they last pitted back in lap 7, apart from Jeremy, we just spoke about. The rest of the field behind, you have to go to like Mark Holyfield, Travis Bieber, and Chris Smith, and so forth. They're the ones that have just recently pitted on lap 16 or 17 or so. So they'll have the fresher boots. We've got 2 packs now of different tires. Would be very interesting.
And pace cars coming out of turn 3. We got Drovic on the inside, Gardner on the outside in row 1. Jewel Kurtz in 2, George and Kaufman in row 3. Coming into the Geico restart zone, and Bernie raises the green flag. And Drovic comes out to the lead again. He's had a good car all night long. And then we got Gardner, Jewel, Kurtz on the inside. Just took that third spot away from Jewel at the moment. And they're still fighting for that third spot. Jewel wants that space back, it looks like. And then we got behind them, looks like Ellingson and Kaufman are fighting for that 6th and 7th spot.
Yeah, I'd say keep an eye out for Jake, because he's made a 14 positions gain at the moment. It just got past Mike George to steal that P5 position. So looking very much strong and climbing his way through the field. Plenty of time with 18 to go. And is that Jake up on George Jewell now? It is. Wow. Jake and George Jewell. And I love it because, you know, they have both the family members out there as well. We've got 3 abreast here. That's a little early there, gentlemen, to give that one a shot. But so be it. Jeremy Gardner still holding you there at the moment on those old boots.
Looks like Jake didn't slow down quite enough as he slid to the outside, and that let Jewel take that 4 spot back. But I know Jake, he's not going to give up on this one. He's going to fight for that spot and move forward.
Absolutely. And why not? And here we go back into this hornet's nest, isn't it? When the drivers start lining up 3 abreast and 4 abreast. It sometimes is, well, you're racing 17 to go. I mean, you know, you start pulling out all the ace cards really when you get about 10 to go, which hopefully we'll get to on a group like conditions.
Yeah, they are. They're really going to be starting to fight for position now with that 17 to go, coming up on 16 to go, and we'll really see it after 10 to go. I don't think these guys will be as safe as they have been. They're going to do everything they can to get as far as up front as possible.
Here comes Jake thinking about Andy Kurtz at the moment. Sorry, Andy Kurtz on Jake thinking about the moment. Timothy Jones, Brandon Wallace says, I think Brandon Wallace got too much damage again. He's gone back in the pit road. He's sitting there for 4 minutes and change. So we are down essentially to about 18 drivers realistically on that are racing with 16 to go. Patrick's under a bit of pressure there from Jeremy and Andy Kurtz. So the top three have started to split away from the rest of the pack. I'm just amazed at Jeremy's severe pace here at the moment on tyres that are just ridiculously old. And did he not get the memo that your tyres wear around Pocono? I guess not.
Yeah, I don't know how he's doing it. I mean, he's right up on Drobik's tail there, looking like he wants that lead. I don't know if he can stick it and stay with it or not.
Chris Smith,
got a wreck.
yeah, he spun into the pit zone.
No flag.
Yeah.
Keep racing.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking, Chris, it's a little too late to probably go on a pit road at the moment, but that was a mistake. But thankfully, it hasn't called the caution out because we do want to see this great racing. And if you're like of Jake at the moment, you've got to get up the road as quickly as possible. Jake and George Rule, they've got to start working together because look at that. They're going to let this lead pack go. And time's running out with 15 to go. Oh, Andy Kurtz goes a little loosey-goosey on the backside. That it just cost him a little bit of time, doesn't it? He hit that, he slapped that fence there. It doesn't seem like a lot, but that's fractions of seconds that you need when you're driving at this level of elite entertainment and racing here in the Goat Locker Racing Summer Series, presented by INvets.
Yeah, that wall slows you down more than you think it does. Watching it here on the screen. On the screen, it doesn't look too bad, but it really slows you down, especially on how hard you hit it. Will depend on how much it slows it down, of course. And they're coming back out of turn 3, getting ready to go 13 to go. Drobik still in the lead, followed by Gardner and Kurtz. And then almost 2 seconds back from the leader is Ellingson, Gould, and Kaufman in that 4th, 5th, and 6th spot. Followed by George, Bieber, Formosa, and Hardy. Those are your top 10 right now in this race. It's going to start heating up as we get closer to that 10 to go.
Well, the heat's currently 116 degrees Fahrenheit on the track, so I'm sure the heat inside the cockpit of these Gladiators will be a lot more. As you can see, there's the 2 packs at the moment, not the old Singer 2-pack, 2 packs of cars, as you can see on the track map as well too, that are battling it out. So let's see, and you can see down the back stretch, or the straight up main stretch, that this group that's led by Jake, George, Joel, James Kaufman, and Travis, and Mike George as well, sorry, my apologies. And of course in the top 3, Patrick Trebek, Jeremy Gardner, and Andy Kurtz.
Yeah, I can't believe, as hot as this track is, Gardner has not gotten in to get new tires yet. I mean, he's got to get really slick out there. I would love to know what he's doing.
Let's ride on board. You're a driver, and give us a perspective as how much is he fighting this beast.
And we'll find out when he comes into the tunnel turn here in turn 2. He doesn't seem to be fighting it so far. Oh, I'm sorry, that was turn 3. Oh, there he goes.
He's
now
going
he's
in.
going to go.
Oh,
Yep.
that's
He's
punishing,
going to
isn't
have
it?
to.
Yeah. Well, fuel as well, perhaps. But that's got to be super punishing because that's a green flag pit stop, and you know everybody's going full speed, so that's going to drop him down essentially to P17. Chris Smith and Timothy Jones and Brandon Wallace are back out there with Jamie Perkins, so we do have 21 drivers on the grid. It's going to put Jeremy Gardner a lap down, won't it? For sure. And he was probably preying on another pace car, a safety car, wasn't he, at that point? And
Yeah,
it didn't pay
was.
off. And now he's going to probably be wondering to himself, damn, I should have gone in the previous one, right? But you got to risk it for the biscuit, I say.
So with Gardner going into the pits, that moves Kurtz into second. Ellingson is now in third, followed by Jewel B for your top 5. Pretty big lead over everybody else. 2 seconds.
Oh,
2
no,
and a third
we got George
seconds
Jewell
there.
going in.
Ellingson.
Wow. Now, we've got a lot of these drivers at the moment that are up at the top of the timetables. The last pit stop that they had, and I'll show you at the moment on our fantastic battle box screen that's somehow really slow. Anyway, it's not working too well. But Patrick, last lap that he went in the pit road, lap 7. Andy, lap 7. Jake, lap 7. Travis Bieber's the one to look out for. He went in the pit road 10 laps later on lap 17. And then James Kaufman and Mike George both went down a pit road on lap 7 each. So this could be looking pretty good for Travis Bieber here for the 114 machine. Oh, no, because it's just hit the fence. Oh, I spoke too soon. The Pennsylvania driver just had a big, massive contact into the fence. He's still pointing in the right direction, but he's going to be scrubbing a lot of speeds here at the moment. The Kellogg's, look at that. He's in a little bit of trouble here at this point with 10 to go. You've got to see if you can just bring this one, can't you? And the Kurtz is going in. James Kaufman. I don't know. What do you reckon, Steve? Do these drivers have enough to get to the end here?
You know, I don't know. They may have to go in one more time. The pit windows, again, I don't know how Gardner was doing it. Pit window is 20 to 25 laps. So they've got to be getting close.
Patrick
was back in lap 7, so he's got to be getting close on fuel also.
Yeah, exactly. Lap 7. So we've got 10 to go. This is the difficult point, isn't it? Because you're so close, but yet so far. You're like, can I stretch it? I mean, if you got a gap like Patrick, he could probably lift and coast right now as much as he possibly can, because he's got a 2-second gap to Jake down the road there. And perhaps Jake could maybe a little bit there to Mike George, but Mike George can't. No, Patrick's in. Oh, if you can get in the pit road properly, Patrick, you need to get in there, my friend. Mike George is in as well. This is crucial for these drivers too. You do not want to get a speeding in the pit lane penalty right now with under 9 to go.
And Ellingson and Formosa have got to be getting close to pitting also. Last time they pitted was lap 7.
Not Formosa. Not Formosa. Formosa boxed on lap 21.
Oh, 21.
He's got the freshers, and then Travis Bieber. So the rest of the field are good. It's going to be up to whether or not Jake can hold on here with 9 to go. What do you reckon out there, Ray? You reckon Jake can hold on for it? I mean, well, let's go on board the cockpit for a second. Is there anything that can indicate you reckon it's lifting and coasting a little bit here? It's anyway, it's safe gasoline.
Yeah, we'll take a look at his tachometer here, and I can tell you. Yeah, he's taking it pretty easy in turn 3, which is normal. He took it a little wide, too, so he's saving his tires there as he comes across the start-finish line with 8 to go.
He's got to be keeping an eye on that gap to Scott Formosa, as you can see on the top of the table. It's 1.32, 1.3. So Scotty's either not applying that pressure just yet, or Jake is maintaining whatever he can, because that's the one thing you can see. It drops off, and definitely dropping off in the corners big time, as you can see at the moment. Scott Formosa is making a lot of time up in those corners, most likely because Scott's tyres are so much better. He pitted back at lap 21. I think Scott knows with 8 to go that he's going to eventually catch up to Jake here, isn't it? He just needs to do what he does. Jake needs to do whatever he possibly can to A, keep the car out of the fence, and B, save gasoline if he needs it.
Yeah, and Scott's catching up on him slowly but surely. He's down now to 9/10 of a second left to go to catch him. And
Travis
you got the
Bieber
next
and-
3 cars
yeah.
are behind him. McCrary, Bieber, Hardy, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Whoa, we had another car back there going up against the wall. I think he might have just avoided it.
Yeah, I know. A few drivers are starting to flirt with that wall a little bit too closely. Mark Holyfield's gone in, so he doesn't have enough to go to the end. Travis Bieber here. These are generally, they're not that bad on tyres each, back on lap 21 or 17 between them. So it's not the end of the world for them. They are just fighting for that potential 3rd podium spot. But interesting here at the moment, Scott Formosa, he's definitely coming in here. And all Jake Ellenson wants right now is that those lap counters to click over as quickly as possible. But I think it's just the inevitable at the moment that Scotty's going to get him.
Yeah, it's going to happen. He'll get him here.
On the outside, too.
Coming down the straightaway, or he'll
Jake's
get
going
him.
in.
Oh, no, Jake's going in now.
Oh, I couldn't stretch it to the end.
Scott Formosa will take the lead with McCrary and Bieber right behind him.
And that's a commanding lead from Scotty.
Yes, 2.3 seconds ahead of McCrary and 2.9 ahead of Bieber, 5 seconds ahead of Hardy, and 6.5 ahead of Knights. He's got a pretty big lead. If he can hold this with those newer tires that he has from back lap on lap 21, he just might be our race winner tonight.
Absolutely, for sure. And that's just punishing. I think Jake was probably preying on a safety car. Same thing as well, too, that we saw, didn't we, with Patrick as well, too. He was preying on a safety car so he could bite his way up through there. Sometimes those strategies pay off. Sometimes those strategies don't pay off. But all you can do is just work with Andy Kurtz as well, too. They were running up the top of the timesheets. And did take advantage of those caution pit stops when they're available. Because, you know, maybe you're expecting there's going to be another caution. Who knows? Sometimes it pans out, sometimes it doesn't. Ray, yes, I'm happy if we get those cams sorted out for tomorrow, exactly. And that'll be an exciting feature that we have done before. So we can get some driver cams up, so when you're actually watching the driver drive from their cockpit view, we can actually show you what they look like in their racing rigs at home. That was quite fun. So I'll be there a little earlier so we can set that up one. So tune in tomorrow night for that. Tomorrow night. Biggest battle right now is this one between these three gladiators, and that's for essentially P5, P6, P7. Because, big scrub off speed there from Timothy. Because Scott Formosa, commanding lead over Mark Carey.
I was just going to say he's got a 2.7 second lead over McCrary, and we got 5 to go, coming up on 4 to go. So I think Scott Formosa is going to be pretty safe up there unless something happens. I hope it don't. And then, like you said, that 4th, 5th, and 6th, I think that's the race right there for position.
These two are going to battle it out, aren't they? Jeremy and Andy Kurtz, because they were battling it out at the start of the race. And now both the drivers are on practically similar tyres. So it's just man versus machine versus Pocono.
Yeah, Drabik, Cruz, and Gardner in that 9th, 10th, and 11th. They're all going to be fighting to get in that top 10 for the points.
And 3 or 4 weeks. Yep, go ahead.
Next week they're at Phoenix, and that'll be their championship race. Unfortunately, we couldn't find the point standings, so we can't tell you who's in the lead right now or who will go into the that race next week into Phoenix.
I'll tell you what now, Matt Knights is not liking this car. He's really struggling. Exactly, really quickly, we'll show you that schedule before we get to 3 to go, and that's it. Phoenix, of course. We're wrapping up the summer series for the presented by INvets. So make sure you tune in to the last race of the summer series for this one, of course, tomorrow night with the truck series. For Goat Locker Racing, so tune into that one, presented by Relevant. You can see up your top right-hand corner as well, too. The fantastic sponsors that we have. Fantastic league. You could just saw there Scott Formosa, didn't you? Turning all the way around here on turn 2. Just driving away with this one at the moment. One has got some Italian opera or something like that in the car at the moment, isn't it? Super simple.
Hey, he's up to 3.5 second lead now. I think he'll be our winner as long as he doesn't make a mistake here. He's coming up with 2 to go here when he crosses the start-finish line. Followed by McCrary, Bieber, Hardy, and Cofield be top 5.
Yeah, this is where the hot zone is a little bit for the drivers, as we spoke about before. Matt Knights, Timothy Warren, Wilms, Alan Marshall. We haven't spoken too much about Alan Marshall at the moment there for the 82 machine, but he's up 8 positions in this race. Dustin Hardy and Johnny Caulfield, we have mentioned them a few times. They're going for it too for now. You know what I found about, you know how they say riding shotgun, 2 to go? Yeah, how I said about riding shotgun. You know where that term comes from? Back in the old Wild West days, you used to have a somebody that sits as a passenger seat there, and they'd have a shotgun to help protect you, of course, in the Wild West from getting robbed. Hence the reason why they call it riding shotgun if you're riding the front seat. But one person is not riding shotgun. One person is riding in the 80 machine all the way up the road there. A little bit of traffic. Scott Formosa, last lap.
Yep, that white flag is out now. Formosa still on the commanding lead. He's a 4-second lead right now. And Bieber's behind McCreary by 2 seconds. Caulfield is 4 seconds behind Bieber. And Hardy's right behind him, right on his tail. Hardy's going to try and fight for that 4th spot behind Caulfield. And Drobick, Kurtz are still back there in 9th and 10th. Then we got Formosa, McCreary, Bieber, Caulfield, Hardy, Wilms, Knights, Marshall, Drobick, and Kurtz are your top 10. Coming around, I believe that was turn 3 they're in now. And here comes the checkered flag. And Scott Formosa will be your winner tonight, followed by Mark McCreary, Travis Bieber, and Johnny Caulfield. And Dustin Hardy are your top 5 racers there.
I was going to see if there's going to be a photo finish between those drivers as well as they go. Let's get across the line, have a little bit of wreck across the line later on. Don't worry about it. We don't need to return those cars, gentlemen. But Scott Formosa gets the job done from Tennessee. Yeah, well, you probably wouldn't have picked him at the start, would you, if he's gained 4 places and got that job done? But it's on top of the pace that he had. It's called perfect strategy.
But, you know, honestly, I still think that Drobick probably could have won this race if he would have pitted with everybody else during those caution flags. But he decided to wait too late, and the flags weren't helping him there at the end to help keep that lead position.
That's exactly. It's the gamble. That's the thing is when you get some good green flag racing, which we did this evening. We had a couple of cautions, of course, but we did have some green flag racing. That's the gamble that happens, because then you realize, oh, you know, are you going to have another caution? Are you not? How far can you stretch it? It can pay off if the caution comes out at the right time at the right place, or it can punish you if it doesn't. Results coming up on the screen for you now.
Yeah, and we're watching Scott Formosa celebrating there at the start-finish line. And here's your results. Scott Formosa is your winner. Mike McCreary and Travis Bieber are in your top 3, followed by Johnny Caulfield, Dustin Hardy, Matt Knights, Timothy Wilms, Alan Marshall, and Patrick Drobick, and Andy Kurtz are your top 10, followed by George Jewell, Jeremy Gardner, Jake Ellingson, Mike George, James Kaufman, Jacob Linke, Mark Hollifield, Chris Smith.
A couple more drivers, just Brad Wallace is caught in those wrecks at the moment, and Timothy Jones as well. I think that was it. Yes, exactly. Jamie Perkins. Well, Jamie Perkins was out. I'm not sure it's not showing you. But the big movers, though, of course, they're saying Johnny Caulfield got his way back up there. 14 positions gained, too, you'd have to say, for Johnny Caulfield, so that's very good. It's a little unfortunate. Patrick DeBreckman is to fight his way back up through the field there after taking that earlier, long run with that pit stop. And then, of course, you saw the likes of George Jewell, Andy Kurtz there, Jeremy Gardner, Jake Ellison, all that were right up the top of the timesheets. And then they took those pit stops and they ended up finishing almost just outside that top 10. So that's what happens when you gamble. Sometimes it pays off and sometimes it doesn't. One thing what we have to do, of course, is pay the lovely bills with some advertisements. Grab those drivers, we'll round them up, and we'll have a chin wagon to them. So don't go anywhere.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Welcome back to Nazareth 360. Just finished up the ARCA series presented by INvets here at Pocono. And now it's time for some driver interviews. And Travis, you were involved in a couple of wrecks tonight. How did you manage to get up to and finish third?
Yeah, just made the right pit call at the right time. Got into the wall there when I was behind Jake, or I think I might have had something for Scott, or might have been able to hold him off, stay out front. I think I pitted a little bit before him, so who knows how the tires would have worked out there, but good run tonight for sure.
And how was the tire wear tonight? It was kind of spotty for us looking at it because some of those guys had pitted on lap 7, and everybody else was more consistent of when they were pitting for new tires.
Yeah, I think the way the cautions fell there, it was kind of odd, and we kind of thought it was the right move to pit there. I think I pitted maybe around like 15 or 16. There was about 24 or 25 to go. But you could get 22 on a tank of fuel, and then we kind of caught another caution, and it kind of worked out. So, the tires were burning off. Pocono's not easy on the tires, so they were burning off. But once you can kind of get out ahead there and kind of run it almost like a road course, it works out.
Yeah, especially with that track temperature being 115 degrees, it had to chew up them tires, didn't it?
That's right. Yep. Yeah, for sure. It was definitely getting loose off of 3, and just burning them up. So but yeah, like you said, just tough on the tires for sure.
Is there anybody you would like to thank tonight, Travis?
Yeah. Thank you guys for putting on a great broadcast week in and week out. I want to thank my teammates at Bandits Motorsports, and then thank all the great league sponsors that we have: Lincoln Tech, INvets, Relevant Sound, Jam Printing and Promotions, Cruising Classics, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, the Veterans for Life Foundation, Right Now Roofing, Alexander PCs, Sim Motion, Next Level Racing, and Big Fish Barbecue.
All right, thank you, Travis, and we'll see you next week at Phoenix.
All right, awesome. Appreciate you guys.
Mr. McCreary, our second place finisher tonight. How do you think your car did?
Not too bad. Pit, I really honestly don't know why everyone did not pit on that last caution when you're in the fuel window. I'll definitely take it.
And how was the heat in this track for you tonight? As I mentioned earlier, a little bit ago, it was 115 degrees. Did that help you any at all, or hurt you, or?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I haven't done a race over a month, and I've been away from everything. So I was just trying to. I started in the back, get feel for it, and so I didn't do any practice until the practice. So it just drove pretty much, how it drove. So I didn't see anything. Tire wear seemed fine. It was good race. Just a lot of people. It was a little rough there at start, but it ended up being a good race at the end.
Is there anybody you would like to thank tonight, Mark?
Yeah, I got to thank Speak, especially the like I say, I got to race with him a lot, and happy to see Scott get the win, and Alan Marshall for all of his help, of course. But Lincoln Tech, INvets, Relative Sound, Jam Printing Performance, Cruise Classics, Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs, Veterans for Life Foundation, Right Now Roofing, Alexander PC, Sim, Big Fish Barbecue. I thank those sponsors as well. Of course, obviously you all for doing a good broadcast.
That's Mark, isn't it? Good job there, Mark. Also, the biggest gainer of the day. So you got 83 in the machine. You didn't gain 83 positions, although you gained 18. So good on you there, my friend. That was a good drive at the moment to get yourself a nice P2.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, Mark, and we'll see you also next week at Phoenix.
Yep, I should try to hopefully be there.
Scott, our winner. You held on up there near the top all race long. I take it your cart felt pretty good tonight.
It really did. It felt great. I mean, last week, I had a lot of confidence going into tonight after running second to Jeremy last week. I thought, man, this thing's really. I'm getting the feel for this ARCA car a whole lot here lately, and man, everything the cautions just felt perfect for me tonight. I really, like Mark said, I was surprised that the other guys did not pit in the pit window there. I didn't understand what they were doing there, but oh well. It would have been a good race to race those guys, but I'll take this.
Yeah, I was telling everybody out there on the broadcast that the same thing. You know, these guys have got to be pitting pretty soon. As soon as I said that, they started coming in. I think it was right around lap 8, lap 10, or 10 to go, 8 to go, somewhere in there. But you had a big lead there at the end. It was almost 5 seconds at one point. Great job on that one.
Yeah, I just got a really good feel for this place. I've always enjoyed running here. These cars really get around this place. A little bit loose for a couple laps, and then it gets going, and it's just, man, it's a fun little racetrack. I've always enjoyed watching the Cup races here over the years.
Scotty, I think you got your advertising on the side of the car, which we'll ask you about. Isn't it? It's Country Line Motors.
It's actually County Line.
County Line. I was going to say, but I was going to say, yeah, you won by a country mile. There you go. That could also be a sponsor, but didn't work out there. But the County Line, yeah.
That's my actual local car lot here in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, that I own.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, so make sure you visit if you are in Mount Juliet there in Tennessee, and pop in and say hi to Scotty. Another question I wanted to ask you, Scotty, was it more fuel or tires that was the reason why everybody had to go down to pit road?
Fuel. I'm sorry, fuel. Fuel was everything here. I don't think tires really were really a big deal tonight.
That would make sense, wouldn't it, of there, Steve? Because if you watch it back, Jeremy Gardner had started from the pit road, and he went all the way, quite very, very far actually into this race before having to get in a pit road. There, Steve. So
yeah, I don't know how he did that, because pit window was about 20 to 23 laps, and he definitely went farther than that. But anyways, Scott, so after tonight, the Tricky Triangle, without giving away any secrets, of course, how do you prepare for Phoenix next week?
Phoenix, tough track. I've never really ran that well there, but I'll just get in there. I'll do some testing this week. I'll see where I stack up in practice. I'll know right away where I stack up in practice when we log in next week. But I'm looking forward to it. It's a challenge, but I'll be ready for it.
And is there anybody you would like to thank tonight?
Oh, you got to thank all the sponsors over here at Goat Locker. You know, Lincoln Tech, INvets, Big Fish Barbecue, all these guys. I mean, my company here, County Line Motors, Mount Juliet, Alan Marshall for Speed Kings Motorsports. He's our car owner with Mark McQuarrie, our teammate, and he paints up all my cars, and he does an excellent job. I got to thank him. Thank you guys for everything you do. Thank Patrick, all the guys over here at Goat Locker. And I guess I'll see you guys next week.
And there was Scott Formosa, your winner tonight at Pocono. You have a great week, Scott, and we'll see you next week at Phoenix.
Thank you, guys.
We also got a little bit of a chat out there at the moment. So Sergeant Boyd's, I think it is, he was the crew chief for the 46 machine, and we had a plan that we wanted to stick to. 46 machine he's referring to is Dustin Hardy, who finished in the P5 position of 12 positions gained. So good job and great win. And absolutely to the number 80 machine of Scott Formosa, isn't it? Getting the job done. Yeah, Steve. And then one more round, my friend.
One more round, and then they're done until the end of August when they go back to their regular season start. Do you have any final thoughts tonight, Dean?
No, I think it was good racing. Couple of cautions in there. Tire strategy was a big play. So some of those big Top Guns, somebody mentioned as well too. You know, Gardner's win streak was broken. It certainly was. He ended up finishing down in P12 there. Jake as well too had that power slicing through the field there. He had to make that pit stop. He finished in P13. Mike George did a fantastic drive. He had to finish in P14 just because the pit stops didn't quite work out at the right place at the right time, my friend. So, yeah, you got to risk it for the biscuit sometimes. And Scott Formosa and Mark McQuarrie and Travis Bieber did finish at the top 3.
I think overall it was a good race. Yeah, we had 4 or 5 cautions. Not too bad for a 40-lap race at 2.5-mile track. It had some surprises and some not so surprises. But yeah, congratulations again, Scott. And we'll see you all next week at Phoenix. Thank you for joining us on NASCAR 360 at Pocono.